Hi friends, welcome home as the sign says. I hope you realize where we are. You should recognize the background as the Pandora side entrance of St. Anne Church in Kitchener. So welcome, we want to welcome you because this coming weekend, June 20th and 21st, we will be reopening the church for Sunday worship and weekday celebration of the Eucharist as well, with the permission of our bishop following phase 2 of the Ontario government. And so, coming back to church, things are pretty much the same as we're always used to, but there will be some minor changes and differences, and it might be good to get used to those things and to hear them before we actually enter into the church. More than welcome, each and every one of you. Now, this is the side entrance, and so whether you are parking in the parking lot, on the street, across on East Avenue, or in the handicap parking lot, everyone enters the church by the main entrance on East Avenue. Okay? Now, important things to remember is we go to the entrance without any socializing. We need to keep social distancing while on church property, before Mass as well as after Mass. And so before we enter, let's go to the main entrance and take a look there. And so welcome, we've reached the main entrance of St. Anne's Church. Now the first thing we need to remember is, even though we are reopening for public worship, the bishop has emphasized very clearly that the Sunday obligation does not hold during all this time of the pandemic. And we are still going through the pandemic, okay? And so the bishop has said very clearly, and I would support it 100%, if you are elderly, if you are sick, obviously, if you have just traveled and come from another country and need to be self-isolating, if you are hesitant, you're not yet ready to come out in public, okay? That's fine. Please do not come. You have no obligation to come. In fact, you may still join us for our online celebration on Sunday. Okay, so keep remembering that. It's very important. When we come, the ushers, our warm and friendly ushers, will welcome us into the church, and they will give us some indications just to make us feel at ease, okay? Things to remember: we are encouraged to wear our facial masks. If you do not have one, one will be offered to you if you wish. We will also be invited to use the hand sanitizer. You will see on the doors of the church 6 panels, very, very important. We talked about who should not come, those who are traveling and those who are to wear masks. Another important one, very important, is to follow signs and directions of the ushers, okay? That's why they are here, to help us through this process. It's not that difficult or different, but so that it moves smoothly for the health benefits of all of us. We would encourage you to enter the church and to listen to our ushers as they will direct you to the hand sanitizer. And then, after you are ready to come in, they will line us up so that we keep social distancing. Markers are on the main aisles, and we will follow that. We do not enter by the side aisles. Main door only, and the main aisle of the church. And then the ushers here will indicate to us that we need to go to the front of the church, because there will be ushers there as well who will direct us into the appropriate pews. We will fill up the front of the church first, and then moving back toward the back of the church where we are at the moment. So come on, let's go up. So as we approach the front of the church, the altar, we will notice that every second pew has been cordoned off. This is so that we are able to maintain our social distancing. And so it's important to follow the directions of the ushers as they escort us into these alternate pews on either side. For the reception of communion, we simply ask that we all follow the directions of the ushers. We remain seated in our pews until they invite us to stand one by one, so that we are coming out maintaining social distancing as well. When you approach the priest, you extend your hand and you cup it, being supported by the other hand, so that the priest or minister may simply drop the sacred host in your hand, because communion is not to be received on the tongue. Before you come, while the person in front of you is receiving communion, you are to remove or loosen your face mask. And so then coming up, receiving communion, you are then able to consume the sacred host and move away down the side aisles, at the same time then putting back your face mask. At the end of Mass, we will be invited to be seated for a moment as they give us some further instructions, especially on how to exit the church. We will exit beginning at the back of the church, and the ushers will tell us how and when to exit. That is very important. That will help us maintain social distancing. And now at the very end of this little taping, I want to say, welcome. We are so excited to be able to come together again as a faith community to celebrate the Eucharist. If by any chance, for whatever reason, you are unable to join us in person, we will have our Sunday celebrations online, as we have been doing in these few months. But so one way or the other, we will all be together. The other important thing is I want to thank the committee that's worked very hard. Final words of advice. It's something new in some way. Let's be patient with ourselves and with others, especially with the ushers who have been appointed to give direction. And above all, let's be very charitable to one another. The law of love supersedes everything. And that's what it's all about. We come together as a people of love. Welcome. See you on the weekend. God bless you.